Having a head coach relinquish control, it's a bold thing to do, but Dan Campbell has been building to this day throughout the first 2 weeks of training camp. He turned this final practice before they head off to New Jersey for joint practices with the Giants into a scrimmage, something the players absolutely loved.
Man, this ought to feel like a preseason game, really. I mean, that's really what it should feel like. I mean, this should be competitive. I mean, they should be hot, and they should be scratching and clawing for everything they're going to get out of here.
The competition has always been high through these practices, but today it was a bit higher just because of the intensity and how he kind of built around this practice. He kind of told us leading up to it that it would be one of those days, it would be an intense practice, and it was.
Honestly, like this just feels right for me. Like going to another program, not practicing hard, kind of telling me to lay off, I felt like I probably wouldn't have thrived in that. And Dan does a great job of picking the intensity up here.
Some notes from the scrimmage: Jared Goff and the offense, Jahmyr Gibbs. They wowed the sold-out crowd here in Allen Park. Jake Bates, the team's kicker, trying to make the jump from the UFL to the NFL, struggled mightily. The NFL is a copycat league, and so as national media members like the Monday Morning Quarterback's Albert Breer come through camp, it's interesting to hear how Detroit's success is translating across the league. Have you seen or heard in your conversations over the last couple of years people trying to replicate any parts of what they're doing here?
I've seen it on my training camp trip. This is my 11th stop. You're seeing more 2.5-hour practices, and you're seeing more contact, and you're seeing more intensity, and you're seeing more coaches that are focused on callousing their teams. And I think a big part of that is who's winning, which is always what it is, which you said, like copycat league, is always what it is. Look at the 4 teams that were there at the end of January. Kansas City, San Francisco, Baltimore, Detroit. And all 4 of those teams and all 4 of those coaches, 2.5-hour practices, contact in camp, like at the points where they're bringing people to the ground in camp.
It's clear that in those moments where some of these things can make you mentally weak, right? That's what fatigue does to you. Man, they can focus in those moments, and they can will their bodies to do what they ask it to do. That's what we're looking for.
Campbell said he's already put the practice plan together with Giants head coach Brian Daboll, and you can tell the season is drawing close, and at least the preseason is whetting his appetite. Repeatedly on Friday morning, Campbell kept saying how excited he was to just get the competition against another team going. We're going to get really good work in, Campbell said. Really, really good work. In Allen Park with the Lions, Brad Galley, 7 News Detroit.